What's up, world? It is Hugo Mlkkuh, and the Kuh is for cow. How are you? Today, we're looking at this world from a lens that often is narrow to the common viewer. It's narrow in terms of the magnitude of what distress and stress and distraction really can do to our psyche and our well-being. It's broad as to all the things that can happen when we're distracted, when we're taken off our course, and we're hit with distressful events that cause us to sometimes wonder, is it all worth it? Is it all worth it for us to continue in a path, in an experience where the stress doesn't seem to end, and you ask yourself, what am I doing it for? What is the purpose? Because I learned through a short little clip today on Instagram, which was right on time. It was right after my workout, right when I was in the sauna. I learned that sometimes when you come into wealth, when you're about to approach that pinnacle of wealth, not just riches, that you might be the only one in your family that can see the vision. And you might be the only one that can change the legacy of your family. And in that chosen status, you have to overcome distress. You have to overcome stress. You have to do things that go beyond, like the podcast said. It wasn't a podcast, it was a clip of a podcast, and I wish I remember the speaker's name. I read his book, though, several years back, and then I'll bring it back to you all another time. But I learned that, or I was reminded, rather, that as a chosen one, you will have to be the one who's many a nights reading the books, many a days doing 2-a-day workouts, many a times encountering the distress that life brings to you alone. Distress. That's what we're talking about. Stress and distress, and how those things can hinder our walk. What will we do when we face these things as chosen ones? Will we fold, or will we flourish? And that all comes from our understanding of self. And so, circling back to what it takes to face the distress, to what it takes to overcome the things that people may say that cause you to distress. Will you let it distract you? All these disses, distress, distraction, disengagement from self in the process of the distraction. Sounds like you're dissing yourself when you encounter these things. And so the best way to handle all of these occurrences is to go back into self. It is to stay with self. It is to understand what is the lesson in this distress. What is the lesson in this stress? And many a times it's going to be a lesson that you don't want to learn. It's like something that you've avoided understanding. It's a painful reality sometimes that people who you thought were going to calm your stress really don't have the capacity to even calm their own stress, much less yours. And do they even want to? And that's when I said to myself today that the reality of it all is that we do come into this world by ourselves, and we do experience life with people, but in the end, we are going to die alone. Our deathbeds are going to just have our name on it. Even if you were in a car wreck with somebody and you both died on impact, you still would be the one that died alone. And what your experience and what your purpose brought you to, what my purpose brought me to in this life, will be what is the legacy of what I experienced. So that is what gives me strength to continue forward. I don't have all the answers. I never claim to. I never claim to be something that I'm not. I only claim to be chosen to do what my purpose is, and that is to create a legacy that's built on my principles and my values. That's another book that I enjoyed by Ray Dalio, Dalio, Principles. It's a great book. He's a billionaire. He wrote that book about business and running a business as a billionaire and the principles that it requires. And the same thing goes for your interaction with family and friends. You should have principles and values that you live by that take you through the challenges of the distress and take you through the challenges of the stress, and the disengagement from them and the re-engagement to them should bring you to a higher pinnacle of understanding. Because the time when we're away from people should be a time where we're centered in self and understanding our mission more deeply. These are the things that have kept me alive in the most devastating of traumatic events. I've had devastating trauma in my life, and it wasn't anything that I think I asked for or required to be a chosen one. I think these are the things that we just experience as we try to self-master. We ask for self-mastery, and in self-mastery, you have to go through different things that you might not ask for. You don't ask for the stress. You don't ask for the distress. You don't ask for the disengagement. But in order to reach that pinnacle of your purpose, those things are confronting us constantly. Constantly. And we can be oblivious and turn on the Netflix, and we can be oblivious and do all the things that distract us. But guess what? The distress doesn't go away. The distress doesn't go away through the distraction. It's just another diss to yourself. A diss to yourself when you don't look at it through the lens of what is this teaching me? What is this teaching me? And that's what I came to the realization of today when I faced something that was so painful, something that's similar to the pain of abandonment. That pain is hard. And when I faced that alone, I knew that the disengagement was healthy. I disengaged from the world and I got into my workout in a super cosmic way. I went hard in the gym. I didn't even get to all the exercises. I missed one exercise, but I still went hard on the ones that I participated in to deal with the stress. And I disengaged from the world and I engaged with my core. I engaged with my lats. I engaged with my biceps. I engaged with myself. And this is how we find our purpose. And this is what it takes sometimes. And the stress of it all is just a building block. It's something that you have to climb like the mountain. Like coming up the mountain. It's not an easy climb all the time, but you engage with the walk. You engage with your legs. You engage with, if it's a rock climbing situation and you pulling yourself up in rock climbing, you engage with the nature of the rock. Your hands grip the rock and pull your body up. This is connecting. And sometimes I think as human beings, we tend to think that connection is always with another human being, but a lot of times it's simply with yourself. And understanding that sometimes in a world where you're born alone and you die alone, you might have to journey on the path alone, and it's okay. It's okay. So I just wanted to drop that little jewel, and we'll be back. We'll be back with more information, more engagement. But right now I'm going to disengage and encourage everyone who tuned in to engage with themselves and find out their purpose and learn what they've been chosen for. Because everybody's been chosen for something. And it's up to us to fight through the pain of the stress to find that. That's going to lead to your pinnacle of success, whatever that is to you. And it's not always monetary, although, mine is. I ain't going out like a sucker. I'm seeking wealth and luxury and opulence, and that's what I desire, and that's what I will have. That's what I will live. That's how I live. And this is a part of the journey for those who are chosen for that path. So I encourage everyone to do what they feel is best for them, not based upon a programming of what you've been fed and sold, but based upon a deep engagement with self that leads you on your chosen path. Thank you.